has always been my greatest passion. I feel most comfortable in calling myself and terming myself as a teacher. Our current education system does not require any kind of reformation, any kind of repair, or any kind of a tweak, or any kind of a quick fix. So that is not what it requires. What it requires is a complete revolution. Concentrate on learning for the love of learning.
So myself, Gaurav Garg, and we welcome all our viewers to our show, Amazing Mentors. Today with us is Dr. Shauli Mukherjee. She has a powerful career in education space spanning over more than 20 years. She has dedicated her life towards promotion of child-centric and activity-oriented education. A passionate educationist and a thought leader with the background of setting up and leading new-age K-12 schools. Dr. Mukherjee has been the founder principal of Adams World School and STEAM World School, the first STEAM school in West Bengal. She has been the recipient of numerous awards and accolades including National Quality Excellence Award, Gems of India Award, Peerless ABP Pratibha Swikriti Award, Swarpalli Radhakrishnan Award, Guru Nishad Samman, Guru Narvai Samman, National Education Leadership Award in the category of Commitment to Excellence in Education. She is currently working as Director of School of Education and Dean of Students Affairs at Adams University, Kolkata. It's a pleasure to welcome Dr. Shauli Mukherjee to our show. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
So tell us about your childhood and hobbies you enjoyed as a child.
I have been born and brought up in Kolkata, West Bengal, to extremely supportive and liberal-minded parents who right from the very early childhood had taught me that you could be firmly anchored and rooted to your core values, and at the same time you can expand your wings to fly and explore the possibilities, all available possibilities for you. And due to that, I think I still realize and I still believe that even sky is not the limit for me. Coming to the hobbies which I had as a child, when I was as small as 3 years old, I had taken to dancing. And after that, it started becoming my passion, not only my hobby. It started becoming my passion. I went on to classical dance. And for the majority part of my life, I have actually been a classical dancer. Apart from classical dance, I was into music, I was into dramatics, I was into creative writing. I still write a lot. And I was also a very avid and a voracious reader.
So where did you completed your schooling from?
I did my schooling from WWA Kashipur English School, which was in Kolkata, West Bengal. Post that, I did my class 2 from Lady Brabourne College. And I did my graduation from St. Xavier's College and my post-graduation and higher studies from University of Calcutta.
And were you an introvert or extrovert child?
As a child, I had been extremely bold and extroverted. I was very articulate, very outspoken as a kid, and always brimming with loads of energy and innate urge to almost explore multiple facets of life. I was also very, very curious and inquisitive, having questions about almost anything and everything around me, which I would say I still am.
So what about any naughtiest moment you would like to share of your childhood?
I had been a very, very naughty kid, very energetic, very naughty, always full of energy and always into something or the other, which used to drive people in my home almost crazy.
So any incidents you would like to share?
We used to have a lot of fights, with my elder sister. We used to have a lot of fights, and I being the naughtiest one and the smartest one, I always used to, get away with whatever I had done. And she was the one who always used to get caught at each and every juncture. And after that, I really used to feel bad. And I used to, I used to think that, no, I will not be doing it again. But then, again, I was into some sort of mischief.
So what was your dream profession? When I grow up, I need to be this.
For the majority part of my life, I had been a classical dancer. So even as a child, when I started realizing that it is becoming part of my life. It's becoming my passion. So I wanted to become a classical dancer by profession.
So where did you start your career journey from?
I started off as a middle school teacher of English at Adamus International School in Kolkata, which was the second day boarding school in Kolkata and one of the reputed international schools in entire West Bengal.
So what all challenges you faced while starting your career?
I won't say challenges, but yes, there had been immense learning, loads of learning, a lot of self-reflections, a lot of self-introspection. I also started increasingly questioning and challenging a number of traditional and conventional education practices during that time, which relied heavily on conformity and compliance and very less on a child's creativity and innovation. So I used to question all that, and that sort of acted as a powerful trigger for me, which eventually helped me in the later part of my life to set up and lead a couple of international schools with the difference as a founder principal. And one among them happens to be the first STEM school in West Bengal, which was also awarded for being the second best international day school in the entire West Bengal region. So I won't say challenges, but I would say immense learning, a lot of questioning and challenging the status quo, which acted as the kind of a very, very powerful trigger for me to enable me to do what I am doing currently.
So what and who motivated you to choose teaching as your profession?
I always believe that for anything that you do, there is definitely one immediate reason as to why you would like to do it. And there is one greater purpose. So teaching for me had never been a kind of a profession. It was always a kind of a vocation, a kind of a calling, a kind of a passion, because I always believe that it is one such vocation wherein you get the opportunity of touching numerous young lives in significant and meaningful manner. And at the same time, to create a visible and tangible difference in people's lives by, impacting them in quite significant way. And by engaging and by provoking and by inspiring the young minds to bring out the very best, the truest, and the highest version of themselves. So for me, teaching has always been my greatest passion. So it has almost been more than 23 years now that I have been working in this space of education. And in various, capacities and various senior roles and various senior advisory capacities. But at the end of the day, I feel most comfortable in calling myself and terming myself as a teacher.
So what is that one thing you loved about your profession the most?
It has that intrinsic quality of touching people's lives in meaningful and significant manner. So a teacher can touch a learner's lives in such a beautiful manner that even after 20 years or 30 years, you still, remember that one teacher in your life who had maybe said something to you, or maybe had done something to you, or maybe had, caused a major difference in the way you behave or in the way in which you lead your life. So maybe he or she has remained as a role model for your entire life. So you have not been able to forget that particular person ever in your life. So that is only possible when you are working in the position of such a powerful place. I mean, it's such a very powerful profession, I would say. Very few people realize that, but I think it's utmost important to realize that it's a very, very sincere, very solemn responsibility that you are endowed with, because, whatever you say or whatever you do, that touches that child's life in ways and manners which may not be possible even for you to decipher and to know.
So you have around 23 plus years of experience till date. So what all challenges or up and down you have faced in your journey till that?
In the span of almost 23 years, I have been the principal of 3 international schools of repute in West Bengal. And two schools have been exclusively founded by me as the founder principal. And one among them happens to be the first STEM school in West Bengal, which I told you was eventually awarded as being the second best school in the entire West Bengal region. And currently I'm working as the Director of School of Education and Dean Student Affairs at one of premier universities in Eastern India. Additionally, I'm also associated with a lot of premier educational organizations across India and abroad in senior advisory capacity. Setting the first STEM school in West Bengal was definitely not a very easy task. So there had been numerous roadblocks, obstacles, and hardships. And I think that is quite natural because whenever you're trying to do something innovative and progressive, especially in the field of education, where you have to deal with a lot of mindsets of people who are quite resistant towards change. So these roadblocks are something which are very natural, I would say. And especially when you're trying to challenge the status quo, when you're trying to challenge and question everything that has become redundant, that has become obsolete and outdated, and you're trying to do something new. This is something which is very natural. But at the end of the day, I always believe that if you have a greater purpose for the kind of work that you are doing, and you know that why you are doing it, your vision is very, very clear, your intention is very, very sound, people around you, they also get to understand that, they also get to realize that, and that greater purpose for which you're working, that eventually works as a kind of a strong magnet which pulls people towards your vision. You really do not have to do anything extra in order to motivate people, because that magnet pulls them towards your vision. And then I think a wonderful journey of success commences. But definitely that requires a lot of commitment, dedication, sincerity, hard work, a lot of sleepless nights as well.
So how was the feeling when you were awarded the Order of Merit certification for securing rank in MA examination in English?
Absolutely, that was a great feeling. That was long back, but that was definitely an ecstatic and a great feeling, because being awarded the Order of Merit certification from one of the reputed and the greatest universities. So obviously that was a great feeling, because I always wanted to, pursue my career in the sector of higher education and research, especially pertaining to English literature. So that had been a wonderful experience.
What does award mean to you?
I think that awards, recognitions, rewards, they are definitely important. Important in the sense because they help you to boost yourself up and to motivate you to continue the kind of work that you're doing with a great passion and energy. But having said so, myself being a person who thrives on intrinsic motivation more than extrinsic motivation. So for me, award or no award, I think I have enough tenacity and passion to continue my work with the same zeal, vigor, passion, and energy, because I know that I'm intrinsically motivated to work for a greater purpose. And that's to create a visible and tangible difference in people's lives around me through the transformative power of education. So even if there is an award, there is a recognition, or there is no recognition, I will continue to do my work with the same passion and vigor.
So who is your mentor in life?
Difficult for me to say any one name in that case. Definitely, I would like to say that there have been a number of people who has actually inspired me. Their work, their life, their philosophy, their ideologies. I definitely would like to mention my parents first, and then some of my teachers whom I still remember, and I'm sure that I will be remembering for the rest of my life. I would also like to mention here certain mistakes of my life, certain experiences of my life, whether fulfilling or challenging. They have actually made the kind of a person that I am. So I would say even mistakes and experiences of my life have also acted as a kind of a mentor.
So as you have 23 plus years of experience, what do you think, what all changes are needed in education?
A lot of changes are required in the education sector. Because if you see that everything changes around us, our histories have changed, our geographies have changed. But unfortunately, education remains just the same. And it is, in fact, the last sector which gets affected by any kind of change. So, in that sense of the term, if you consider the system of standardized testing, the standardized testing, which is prevalent across all levels of education, relies heavily on conformity and compliance and very less on a child's innovation and creativity. That needs a change. Our current education system gives a lot of weightage and a lot of importance to only one kind of quotient, and that is intelligence quotient. A lot of importance is being given to intelligence quotient. But research has shown that almost 90% of the success in a person's life depends on the other kinds of quotients, and that is emotional quotient, emotional intelligence, creative quotient, passion quotient, happiness quotient, adversity quotient, social quotient, and spiritual quotient. But our current education system relies heavily on intelligence quotient only. Then, if you consider the fact that right from the very childhood, we always give a lot of importance and tell the child that, it's very important for you to compete. It's very important for you to come first in everything, be it in academics or be it in extracurricular activities. You have to come first always, right? So we sort of ingrain that kind of a feeling that competition is so very essential. But if you see, collaboration and cooperation are the two essential skill sets which are required for any person to thrive in the 21st century world. But if that is the scenario, then why does our current education system rely so heavily on standardized testing, drawing within the lines, intelligence quotient, and competition? I can go on and on with this. What I feel is that our current education system does not require any kind of reformation, any kind of repair, or any kind of a tweak, or any kind of a quick fix. So that is not what it requires. What it requires is a complete revolution. Nothing short of a revolution will work for our current education system.
As a Director, School of Education and Dean, Students Affairs, Adams University, what are your roles and responsibilities?
As the Director of School of Education, wherein we have students who come to do their B.Ed, their BA Honours in Education, and their PhD in Education. And as the Dean Student Affairs, that's a pan-university role, wherein I have to wear a lot of multiple hats, I would say. So I'm the chairperson of the Departmental Student Grievance Redressal Committee for School of Education, the vice chairperson of Faculty Council, nominated member of University Board of Research, nominated member of University Student Grievance Redressal Committee, nominated member of University Internal Complaints Committee for matters pertaining to sexual harassment at workplace. I'm also the nominated member of the University Internal Committee for Students with Disabilities and the nominated member of University Academic Council. Additionally, I'm also the Senior Administrative Officer of University Internal Quality Assurance Center. As the Dean Student Affairs, I handle a lot of projects, being the project lead for different kinds of projects which are at the pan-university level. That is the academic branding strategy for School of Education, driving student experience, engaging newly admitted students, and constitution of University Student Facilitation Center.
So any action or decision you regret in your career?
Absolutely not. Because as a person, I'm a very, very decisive person. So I'm a kind of a person who will think at least 10 times before taking any decision, measuring each pros and cons. But after taking that particular decision, absolutely there is no regret. But I would also like to say that there is a lot of, self-introspection and self-reflection, which paves the way towards improvement and learning. That is definitely there, but regret, no.
So, what advice would you like to give to students who are preparing for their board examination?
For board examinations, I would like to say that definitely board examinations happen to be one of the major milestones in a student's career. So are the numerous other examinations which the student or the learner has to face in the journey of life. So both are important. I mean, it's not something like that board exams are only important, and the other examinations which life throws at you, they are not. They are equally important. So for both kinds of examination, I would like to say that there is no winning and there is no losing, but there is immense learning. Especially for the aspirants for the board examinations, I would like to say that concentrate on learning for the love of learning, for the sheer love of learning. Be a lifelong learner, be a self-motivated learner, learn for learning's own sake, and not in order to secure a very good grade or to pass a particular examination. Because if you learn for the joy of learning or the happiness of learning, and if you go for a conceptual learning, something which you can really apply in your real life context, that is the kind of learning that you will be able to carry on for the rest of the part of your life. Something which you are cramming up, something which you are rote learning for the sake of passing a particular examination will have a very, very short-term memory.
So what are do's and don'ts you would suggest to students who want to take teaching as their career?
I think it's very, very important for all of us to realize and appreciate the fact that teaching is not a mechanical profession, which entails a lot of factual knowledge and content transfer from one person to another person. It is in fact a very, very creative and sophisticated profession. And at the same time, it definitely entails a lot of hard work, dedication, sincerity, passion, and definitely commitment. It's a lot of hard work. And I would also like to say that it's a solemn responsibility because it is in your hands that the future of our nation lies. So the day the would-be teachers as well as the existing teachers realize that they have enormous power and they have, enormous power to transform, to nurture the present generation, they will actually understand the value and importance of what they are doing. Because this happens to be one such profession which creates all the other professions. So, and definitely I would also like to add that we need fresh, young, dynamic minds to come into the teaching profession. That is the need of the hour. People who come with a lot of dreams and aspirations to create an impact, to create a real difference in the people's lives around them with the transformative part of education. That is the kind of mindset which should come more into the teaching profession now.
So now we will start our rapid round. So your favorite actor and actress?
Hugh Grant and Meryl Streep.
Your favorite color?
Blue and yellow.
Your favorite destination?
Any place which is cold, exquisite, exotic, by the hillside.
Things which are in your wish list?
To inspire, to impact, and to uplift the lives of people around me.
Dream house?
Dream house would be a very cozy, a very peaceful kind of a setup, preferably beside a serene lake with lots of greenery.
Your favorite car?
Mercedes, of course.
One thing that you would love to change if you are provided superpower?
Absolutely. The one-size-fits-all and industrial factory model of productivity which guides today's current education system. I would like to change that.
Second choice of career?
Absolutely no choice, because I'm extremely happy the kind of work that I'm doing, and I'm very, very passionate and fulfilled by that. So no choice for a second career.
One line that defines you?
passion, excellence, and impact. I think that is what defines me. And I would also like to say that if I'm ever remembered for anything, I shouldn't be remembered as a noun, that is the name that I have, but I should be remembered as a verb. That's the kind of work that I do and would like to continue doing.
Thank you very much for your time, and it was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for sharing your life experience with our audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It had indeed been a real pleasure discussing a lot of issues and insights on this platform. Thank you so much.